Hi everybody, Kai Waza with you. Welcome back to my channel and to another edition of the Cheap Lounge. I'm sorry if you can hear my neighbor next door. She apparently decided just a moment ago to go on the telephone and talk to either somebody who's hard of hearing, or she just likes to yell on the telephone and talk very loudly. I don't know. So I'm sorry if you can hear that, but we're just going to go ahead, go forward. Get a cocktail. I've got mine. Sit down and let's have a listen. Have a little chat as we talk about some of the music, vinyl, and today a CD also, that I have uploaded recently onto Moody Mood Music, which is an old school, easy listening radio station that I have on Live 360. I haven't even had one drink yet. Live365.com. I also have two other stations there, Hawaiian Hi-Fi for my vast collection of Hawaiian albums, and Radio Green Goddess from my collection of New Age CDs, many with nature sounds. Anyway, yeah, let's take a look and see what I have picked up. And also, these are all like thrift store records and dollar bin finds. Everything's on the cheap. I don't spend much money on any of these, so which is kind of, you know, the part of it. It's just like cheap record finds. Now, first up, we have a CD. This one, whew, I had a feeling when I saw this one on eBay that this might be great, and I ended up getting it for $1.25. And I'll tell you, it did not disappoint. From the early 2000s. It's called a Disco Fever. So as you can hear, it's instrumental versions of disco songs. Larry Bell is the producer, and that's the only real credit that's given on this. I don't know who all the artists, and there's no credit on it. But this has songs such as Staying Alive, We Are Family, Rock With You, Last Dance, Dancing Queen, YMCA, Best of My Love, I Will Survive, The Freak, The Hustle, Got to Be Real, If I Can't Have You, That's the Way I Like It, and Love's Theme. It's so fabulous because it's just like instrumental disco music that would really be on an easy listening station, and it's just amazing. It's fantastic. I love it. I have to look up. There were some other things they had listed too. If the same Larry Bell is producing it, I don't know if it's a similar thing, but I'll have to keep my eye out for them. Now onto the vinyl records that have been uploaded recently. I mean, Nat King Cole, of course, it would be a real hardcore artist on an easy listening station. And I do have some Nat King Cole on the air, you know, in rotation now, but not an awful lot. And I thought I should throw in another one because I still have several albums to add in there. And this one that I added on Capitol Records for 1958 is St. Louis Blues. I say St. Louis. I understand the people that live in that city don't like it to be called St. Louis. So St. Louis Blues. Nat King Cole actually starred in the film as W.C. Handy. This is the story of W.C. Handy, who was the composer of St. Louis Blues and many, many other blues songs, early blues songs. I don't know, what should we say about Nat King Cole? I mean, so much to say, but he had a very long career, had over 100 songs on the pop charts, recorded many, many albums. Born in Alabama, raised in Chicago, and actually dropped out of high school to pursue his music career. The first song that he wrote, or the first song, not the first song that he wrote, but the first song that really became a hit for him was Sweet Lorraine in 1940. And that became a hit. And then after that, he eventually was picked up by Capitol Records, did many recordings, starred in this film in 1958. Also had a television show, I should say, in 1956, the Nat King Cole show, and he was the first African-American person to be the host of an American television show in prime time. Yeah, and that was on NBC. Now, I hesitate to say this because I don't want to, but I just really recall Natalie Cole when she was doing a lot of recording, doing interviews about her father and saying, because there were a lot of rumors that he was gay, and saying that, or bi or whatever, because he was married several times, but that that she was saying, confirming and saying, yes, he was gay, and there were people over at the house, and et cetera, et cetera. And I just have carried that with me for years as an assumption that was fact. And then actually when I was looking for information on Nat King Cole on the internet, it's gone. Like, all those references are gone. It's so interesting. Like, you're Googling gay and Nat King Cole and whatever, and like very snippets of something is coming up somewhere, mostly sites that are like, well, the rumor mill is, yes, he was. But there's nothing of like, nobody's saying anything about it or interviews or whatever. It's like, and I'm thinking, this is like, have you heard of the Mandela effect? Have you heard of that? I'm thinking, is this the Mandela effect? Am I just like remembering something that didn't happen, or remembering it differently than it happened? Or did we all collectively remember something differently and now all of a sudden it didn't happen? I don't know. Not that it matters, but I mean, it's very disturbing to think that you remember something very clearly and very well, and then all reference to it is vanished. Odd. Maybe there were lawsuits or people that were upset about that, her saying that. I don't know. Quickly about this album. Well, I have to say I love Nat King Cole and I loved his voice. This would not at all be my favorite album from him. It is mostly blues. There's a couple of ballady songs on it. And I don't think like Nat King Cole is really the greatest blues singer, if you know what I'm saying. I think he is much more of a jazz vocalist and a ballad, easy listening balladeer, really. I don't think blues, to me personally, are his strong point. But it's an enjoyable enough album, and there's certainly some songs that are nice that we put up on the station, but I would never say like, oh, this is his greatest album or whatever. No, I don't think so. Up next, this is a budget label recording from Winecoat out of New Jersey called 30 Piano Favorites by Steve Davey. It's from 1964. Now, there's also, interestingly, Winecoat put out another album called 30 Piano Favorites by Steve Davey, and it's not the same album. It is 30 different songs. I don't know why they didn't call the other one, Volume 2 or more, 30 more piano favorites or whatever. I don't know. Who can explain why the budget labels do what they do sometimes? Anyway, I wasn't expecting much from this because it is a budget label, but I have to say I was very pleasantly surprised because it's 30 songs arranged into 6 medleys. Yeah, each one has 5 songs, and really tastefully done, really tastefully cocktail piano combo, nice arrangements. I really, really enjoyed it. It's all standards and then some what do you call it? Classical themes that they rename, which happens a lot. They give different names to. So most of the music is very recognizable. I really enjoyed this record. Yeah, much more than I thought I was going to. Here's a record that was a very pleasant surprise. I didn't really know what I was buying when I bought this. I just thought, oh, let's just do it. It's called The Guitars of Sonny James. Now, as it turns out, I didn't know this. Sonny James was a very well-known country singer. And this was a somewhat unusual album in that it was instrumental and it was just him and some others, whatever, on guitars. playing instrumental songs. So Sonny James, originally from Alabama, passed away in 2016, was a country singer and songwriter. He's probably best known for that song Young Love in 1957 that crossed over and became a pop hit as well as a country hit. Reached number 11. That was his biggest hit. Now, they say it probably would have actually been higher than number 11, but the record company did not anticipate that it was going to cross over and be a pop hit as well as a country hit, so they didn't have enough singles made of that song initially. So, you know, they couldn't get the sales higher to push it further up in the chart, but it was definitely getting airplay that it probably would have ranked higher than number 11. This album I really liked. Like I said, I didn't know what it was, but really nice arrangements, beautiful arrangements, kind of, you know, maybe something like 50 Guitars, the 50 Guitars of Tommy Garrett, or like a nice Chet Atkins album or something in between there. And anyway, just it's guitar, instrumentals, good track list. I mean, Maria Eleno, Indian Love Call, Apache, Vaya Con Dios, etc. Paper Roses. I love Paper Roses. So, nice album from him. It comes from 1975. Now we are up to a band, I don't know, you might have heard of him if you're into the easy listening genre. If not, you probably maybe haven't. Maybe at Christmas time you've heard of him. I'm talking about Spike Jones. Spike Jones was born Lindsey Armstrong Jones. It's his actual name, in Long Beach, California, from 1911 to 1965. Known for really doing, initially for doing, and continuously best known for doing spoof arrangements. So funny takeoffs on songs. Like he did a spoof version of Hawaiian War Chant. He did a spoof version of, now I can't remember. I didn't write it down because I knew it so well, but a Christmas song. I ain't getting nothing for Christmas, or all I want for Christmas is my 2 front teeth, or something. I don't know. Anyway, the band was called Spike Jones and the City Slickers, okay? Now, at the same time, he also did some serious music, or just normal, lush, sort of easy listening music. And he literally called that group by a different name. So he had Spike Jones and the City Slickers, and he had Spike Jones and his other orchestra. And that's literally what he called it, Spike Jones and his other orchestra. Now, this album comes from the last part of his career, latter part of his career, where he put out 3 or 4 serious, I mean, they're serious albums. They're still very lighthearted, but they're not actually like spoofs or jokes. But, and he called this ensemble the New Band of Spike Jones. And this is one of them, called Washington Square. It's from 1963. So what he's doing on these records is just taking, because of Al Hurt and some artists like this, I think some Dixieland, Pete Fountain, some Dixieland kind of music was gaining popularity again. And so this was kind of capitalizing on that. And what he would do is take pop songs of the day that had nothing to do with Dixieland, most of them, and make these sort of Dixieland pop, because they're not, you know, I mean, they're Dixieland, but they're not hardcore Dixieland. They are definitely Dixieland that can be, you know, mixed in with an easy listening station or something. So Washington Square is one. It has songs that, again, were popular at the time. 1963, Alley Cat had been a big hit. Frankie and Johnny, Maria Elena, Blowing in the Wind, Puff the Magic Dragon is on here. If I Had a Hammer. Most enjoyably, I love Whistler's Mutta. It's in a lot of cartoons, that song. You know that song? Hello, mother. Hello, father. La da 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 da. I think it's based on something classical, isn't it? Anyway, arranged by Carl Brandt, the new band of Spike Jones. I found this kind of enjoyable. I'm not this most super fan of Dixieland music, but I did enjoy his idea here of taking songs that are not Dixieland songs and putting them in that style of an arrangement, modified somewhat. And it works better for some songs than others, but I think it's a good idea. I really enjoyed it. And I have one other of these records, so I'll look forward to hearing the other ones as well.
Well, come on, Herb. Come on, Herb. I know you enjoy your putzing around, your hobby, your hi-fi, stereo, audiophile, do-it-yourself hobby, and making all your woofers and tweepers and clingamaclangs. Hurry up with those speakers, Widget. I need my moody mood music. You expect me to keep making these tuna noodle surprises and molded Jell-O Supreme salads without my mood music? That's right. I'm just not right without my moody mood music on Live365.com. It soothes me and calms me and allows me to focus, so I don't care about all the woofers and tweefers and whatchamacallits. Just get those speakers together so I can hear my moody mood music. And you can listen to Moody Mood Music too. It's located by just clicking the link below in the description. And unlike me and my home, that link will take you right to Moody Mood Music. So you can get back to work on your molded Jell-O Supreme.
Okay. Next up, I'm not going to talk about this artist much because we've talked about her before, but I just did another one of her albums, put it up on the station, and that is Morgana King. The album is It's a Quiet Thing. I love Morgana King. The only thing I'll say about her is, here is just that if you like Barbra Streisand, which I do, Morgana King is like Barbra Streisand kind of drugged out at some party somewhere where she's just like had too much to drink, or she's had a little too much Benadryl or something going on there, and she's kind of like, oh, that is what Morgana King is like. I absolutely love it.
But now my love is gone. Gone is the rapture that filled my heart. Gone, oh gone with the wind.
Now, what I will say about this, the liner notes here, very strange statement made. Now, her husband apparently passed away in an accident, but their paragraph, it's so weird. I just want to share it with you because I think it's so odd to have put this on a record cover. And they're talking about all the feelings, different kinds of feelings of sadness and, the range of feelings that's in this, loneliness and whatever, that's in this album, right? And then the paragraph says, Morgana is involved with these feelings and these depths. For her, the reality of what she sings gets meaning from a silly auto accident this past summer when her husband, Willie Dennis, trombonist, was killed in the midst of Central Park. And then they don't say anything more about it. I'm like, what an odd thing to say, like that somebody's husband died, but in a silly auto accident. I couldn't find anything about it. I tried to look it up and see, well, what was silly? I mean, what do they mean? And yeah, how do you get in an auto accident in Central Park, in the middle of Central Park? There aren't any cars in the middle of Central Park. So anyway, I'm curious if anybody knows anything about that. I looked it up. I couldn't find anything. I was curious what happened. And also just like, what a weird paragraph to put on the back of somebody's record cover like that. Okay, up next, Broadway Showstoppers. This is on Roulette Records. It's from 1959. The vocal group is called the Playmates. Now, you might know them for the song Beep Beep. That was really their big hit. And it was used, well, all over the place. It was used on some car ads in Europe. And it was used on the Dr. Demento show sometimes. And the song itself peaked at number 4 on the US pop charts. Now, these guys, the Playmates, are all from Waterbury, Connecticut, originally, all of them. And they had, like I said, Beep Beep was their number 1 song, their big hit, number 4. And then they had a couple of hits after that. They did a total, but nothing as big as that. They did a total of 4 albums with the Roulette, and this is one of them. I really enjoyed it, but they are very similar. If you like these sort of vocal male quartets and trios, and there's quite a few that were around, Kirby Stone 4 and the 4 Freshmen and the 4 Lads and etc. There were several. It's a very similar sound, right? It's kind of that small male vocal group sound, kind of novelty, and that not literally like spoofs or humorous, but just kind of funny. And they are, just kind of like there's certain elements in the arrangements that are really cutesy or that make you kind of chuckle, but they're not actually like comedy routines. Great harmonies, really tight harmonies, tight vocals. I enjoyed this album a lot. Hernando's Hideaway, You Can Fly from Peter Pan. You hardly ever hear anybody sing that song, so I really enjoyed that from this album. But the Playmates, and they're on Moody Mood Music.
It's a very simple plan. You can do what birdies can, at least it's worth a try. You can fly, you can fly, you can fly. Soon you'll zoom all around the room, all it takes.
And finally today, Mercury record. This one is by kind of I would say sort of a well-known name in the easy listening world. Certainly recorded a lot of what you would call what we call now, or used to call space age bachelor pad music, and that is Pete Rugolo. I don't know if it's Pete Rugolo or Pete Rugolo. He is from Italy, from Sicily specifically originally. Pete Rugolo, I guess. I don't know. Pete Rugolo and his orchestra. TV's Top Themes is the album. TV themes there, as you can see. I remember Dick Van Dyke especially. It was very enjoyable to hear some of these again. Dick Van Dyke, Bonanza. What was the other one that was, Route 66. I love the theme from Route 66, man. It doesn't matter who does that. That's just a song that I love, that song. Where I first remember hearing that song, though, I have to say, was as a kid, up late night watching television. The Playmate, or the Playboy Bunny, that's what they called the girls at the cocktail waitresses. It was the Playmate, Playgirl, Play Bunny. whatever, Play Bunny of the Year competition. It was a pageant for the Playboy Play Bunnies. It wasn't obscene or anything. I mean, they just, you know, it was almost like a regular pageant, except they had their little Play Bunny outfits on. But that song was used. I just remember hearing that song because I don't think I'd heard it before. And I was like, ooh, I like this music. So I kind of like Route 66. That's it for today. I hope you enjoyed that. If you did, please give the video a thumbs up and subscribe if you want to see more. Hit the notification bell. If you have any of these records or any memories about them or any information about them, love for you to share that down in the comments below. And I hope you enjoyed your coffee, your drink, your beverage of choice. It could be coffee. And my 3 radio stations will be linked, or some of them anyway, down below if you want. Also, Buy Me a Coffee is linked down below if you want to buy me a coffee. I wish we could, you know, have it together. We'd be here together. That would be great, but oh well. If you're interested in that, that's linked down below. So thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Have a good week.